Streaming. Okay, welcome to part 6. I lost count by now. Let me actually start here. Yeah, welcome. So today we hopefully start pushing some plastic. I also forgot to post this. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. We do that. Okay, now we are fully prepared. I did work on the chat a bit. Hopefully there's no delay today. Let's see how this works out. Besides this, we forgot the music. Oh God. Here, okay. Now it should all be fine. Perfect. Yeah. So there was a little trouble with the sprint since the last time. Basically, I worked a little bit on some few things. Let's start over here. Firstly, I added one more chain link to the chain here. The reason was that all in the top position, it worked, but it was a really tight turn here. So it was like, yeah, one less, so it was like a really tight turn. So I added one which was a bit painful because the RGB plug here in the front, this one, doesn't fit through the chain. So what I ended up doing is basically, it's one of those JST connectors. So I ended up removing the housing from the plug, which was a bit annoying, to be fair. I figured out the best way to do this in the end is like to use tweezers like this, and then basically you push in, down, and like back like this, and then they slide out quite easily. The key here is to not push it. It's really hard to show, but like here's a little like note on the front. You see it here. So you don't want to push this completely into the plug, then it's not recoverable. If you have it like here, you see like the tip of it still like, the tip of it still like pokes out. What you can do if you are in this state is you take a knife and then just slide the knife under the nose. Yeah, now you see it really well, I think. So you slide it under the pin, just to bend it back up a bit. Not too much, just a tiny bit. And if you do this, you can slide the connector back into the housing. This one is really hard to push, like this, the cable is really soft. But yeah, now it's back in. That's basically how you can unhouse that. So in case you have to do this, yeah, you have to unhouse this plug here. The bed thermistor is also JST, but only 2-pin. It barely fits through the chain, but it does. So yeah, basically I unplugged that, pushed all the cables through one chain, making sure to like keep the pin out of the plug, and then I added one link. One more thing I did, turn it around, I added a washer here between the Kirigami bed mod and the thumb nut. The reason was like it was impossible to turn those thumb nuts. Like you have really little grip because they're so small. And I had the washer in at some point during the build, which like makes I don't want to turn it now because I kind of leveled the bed. But yeah, this made it much easier to turn the thumb nut. I didn't want to add it initially because the thinking was basically it's nice, it's hard to turn those knobs so you don't lose the battle accidentally. Yeah, and also maybe quickly check what YouTube says about the stream quality. I'm trying to like improve the stream quality a bit, but yeah, here it says like excellent, which is great. I upped the video quality a fair bit, so I went from 500 kilobits per second video to like I think like 5,000. So the quality should be much better, hopefully. I also should have fixed the delay a bit. So it should be like now 7, 8 seconds delay between like me talking and you seeing it. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, so that's basically the chain I did. I worked on the bat, and then something happened where two things happened. I told you about. So the first thing was I was playing around with mainsail a bit. Let me switch to the browser. And I discovered here in the machine section that like there's a system package thingy, and basically everything's set up to date, but the OS packages were outdated. So I thought, hey, it's a new build. Let's start with the latest stuff, make sure that everything is up to date. So if we have any problems, we have them now and not like when I update later. Yeah, turns out, oh, there's a Clipper update. Okay, let's be experimental. I'm just talking about like bad experiences with updates, but let's trust Clipper. So basically, there's an update for, I forgot, like LSUSB or something, like some Debian package. And basically, what happened is that the ls slash dev slash USB by ID, or like, yeah, the ls command you use while setting up the Clipper instance, it didn't work anymore. It just said like no such file or directory. And that's a known bug that was introduced to Debian, to this Debian package like very recently. And if you face that, the only way to do it is to roll back. If anyone has a problem, I can most likely find it in my browser history. But yeah, basically it completely crashed my Clipper install because like neither the SKR Mini Pico, SKR Pico, nor the umbilical was basically able to communicate, or Clipper wasn't able to communicate with those devices anymore, which sucks. Like, yeah, you can't do anything then. So that was one thing. So I couldn't do anything anymore in mail cell Clipper, like no more homing, nothing. And the second part was, and that was interesting to say the least, because I remember we checked, I didn't watch back the stream, but I remember we checked that the bad and the hot end both can heat up. And they did, right? We put it to like, I think 30 degrees and we saw the temperature rise, so there was some action. I did that again like yesterday, and the bed worked fine, but the hot end didn't heat up anymore, which concerned me a bit, to be fair. I was like, oh, did I do something wrong? Did I short something? Did I break a MOSFET? What did I do? And then what I ended up doing was basically, turn it around, if I can manage a cable here. So there's the screw terminal here. What I did is I used the multimeter to measure the voltage across those two screws when the heater was on, and it would read 0 volts, like 0.005 millivolts or something, like the usual zero. So there was like no power on those screws. So I knew the hot end was fine. So I basically like looked at the cable at the next step, whether it was like seated properly or something. And then I saw that here in this cornermost pin, like when you look from the top, you kind of see the metal housing. Oh, and this one was way more out than all the others. I turned then off the printer and I just pulled on the cable here and it came out. So basically there was a problem with the Molex connector here where this cable, like I'm not sure if it wasn't properly seated or if the plug was broken or something. Yeah, but this one was basically loose, and that seemingly is either ground or the 24 volts for the bed, for the hot end heater. Yeah, so this basically like similar to the JC connector, the Molex have those little like pins that go out. So I did the same trick with the knife and just like moved the knife between the pin and the housing to just bend the pins out, and then I just shoved it back in. It passed the pull test afterwards, and now I replugged it and everything is fine. So that works again. But yeah, that's kind of what happened. Yeah. Those are all the issues I had then fixed on the fly. Cool. So I think like today, my goal is to just make it print. That would be amazing. Like I'm sure if we print a full Benchy, because I kind of only have like 3-ish hours. I mean, technically it should work. Like we should poop out like a half-hour Benchy on this if it works right. But maybe like a half-size benchy or something would be really cool. Um, yeah, so we worked through this initial startup guide, and we were kind of stuck somewhere in the middle. We're kind of stuck somewhere in the middle. And I think we kind of like started working on this one here, but not quite. So just like quickly, there's a lot of text. I should have maybe read that beforehand, but are you? Oh no, you are not seeing. I forgot to switch over. So yeah, we kind of like are at the end stop position. So this one we can ignore. For 0.2, the set end stop is located at the bottom of the machine. After holding Z, you can use the Z end stop calibrate command to find the correct position end stop value automatically. We will use a piece of copy paper to set the height of the nozzle relative to the end stop position. Do this test with your nozzle cold. When the nozzle is heated, the position relative to the bed changes due to thermal expansion. The thermal expansion is typically around 100 microns, which is about the same thickness as a typical piece of paper. The exact amount of thermal expansion isn't crucial. Oh, amazing. Somebody rang my doorbell. That's most likely DPD. I'm right back, sorry. Sorry for that. Not sure if anyone is watching yet. But yeah, I got some project-related things from Amazon. I mean, it's kind of late, but it's like bad clips for my Ender glass bed because I had issues that the nozzle and the BL Touch were hitting like the document clips I used. And this is 30 AWG, I have to hide my face, wire, which I want to use for the tool head LEDs. Oh yeah, this is tiny wire, which is amazing. Like it's, let me just quickly show it. Depending on how quickly we go today, so it's like really thin wire. And basically there's a cable channel on the back of the mini stealth burner. And this is meant to go there, and then we have LEDs, hopefully. The LEDs should also arrive today, so I hope to install them, but they are delayed from Amazon, so yeah, not today. Cool. Where did we stop? So we run this at end-stop calibrate. Run this at end-stop calibrate command. If you're using mainsail, a dialog box will open. Let's just run that. Let's go to console. Oh, I forgot the E, calibrate. Here we go. Well, I guess we should first home everything, right? So let's quickly home everything. Okay. Let's run this again. Can we? Yeah. So we now have a dialog box. I guess we could use larger steps, right? That's a bit annoying. Ah, there's a minus minus. Maybe let's quickly just move that to 0 first. That's most likely better approach. Let's move to 2. So basically now we are, maybe let me see if I can get like a level shot, so you can kind of like look at the nozzle from this same height. Something like this. Something like this should work. Yeah, it should work. Okay. So then let me just move it to 1. And then I'm now running the same Z answer calibrate command again. And now we hopefully can use a piece of paper. And let's see. Oh, it's already. Yeah, here we go. So I mean, like, there's a bit of tension. And now it's basically 0. Let's see. 0.05. Yeah. So I'm basically just quickly. That's not an interface I have, so I can basically like set minus and plus here. I'm not quite sure if I understand like the visuals here, but yeah, let's maybe also quickly check again what it tells here. Continue issuing commands until it feels a small amount of friction. Yeah, it's a typical thing testing the paper. If too much friction is found, then you can use the positive set button to move the nozzle up. Once you have found the proper height, click accept button. Okay. And let's search for like light friction. This is like 0, like almost 0 friction. Let's go maybe one up. I think like as long as I can still move it freely like this, it should be fine. It's usually what I go by. Yeah, now it's like a bit too tight. Okay, let's go. I'm now at 0.25 steps. So let's go at. I don't quite understand the. Oh yeah, let me go 0.01 steps. Let me just go. Yeah, I think maybe around here. That's good, I think. That's a good. I pre-leveled the bed physically, which they didn't mention, but I think it's kind of like a given. The question would now be if we move the printhead, let's say like to the front of Y, whether we find the same amount of friction here. So now we kind of like did it in the center, right? I mean, here it's like ever so slightly. It's a bit awkward with the camera there. It's like very tiny movements on the thumb screw. I guess like this. Let's quickly check the. But I'm a bit confused by this entire like concept here. So if I do this, I get this box. But if I click accept, Manual probe failed. Use test Z commands. Okay, I'm not sure what test Z is doing. So let's just remember, but I also moved the bed. So let's just move it down to 20 again, just to be sure. And then let's run the command again, I guess. Test that. Okay, I have no clue what this is doing. Unknown command. I'm very confused. So we can do Z stop calibrate. So we can move that. Like this entire thing is very confusing. Like I don't know what this unit means because it's not in millimeters. I mean, I'm not quite sure what this means. Like something is missing. I mean, here's test. Oh, I see. Okay. I clicked accept, but it didn't click any of the plus minus buttons. So but I'm not quite sure what this is, how this works at all. Like I'm kind of lost here. So oh wait, I'm not showing you what I'm doing at all. But yeah, I'm still back in this stupid dialog box. I mean, now you see in the background there's the test Z commands. Now I have a bit of friction, so I click accept. Position and stop 120. The save config will update the printer config file with above and reset the printer. I'm more than confused. So if I do this, we say disconnect. Yeah. And if we now home that, I'm not sure if this is doing much. Just moving down. Now we can set, I move that to 20. Ten, 5, 2. Let me just put my piece of paper here. Let's do 0.5. Yeah, I guess that's a 0. But I'm not sure if it did something, to be honest. Like, I mean, pressing down the bed a bit is primarily all it does. I'm lost. Yeah, the value calculated on your config represents the distance from the point of the nose and touch the bed surface when the bed is temperature is the settings of switch. It also represents your maximum Z travel distance. This value can be edited. Well, yes, that's all good and fine, but that's all good and fine. So here's my 2 cents. I think what I did before works as well, like adjusting the bed physically. So let's do that. Let me just move it. I almost like you already had it like where I needed it. Now I changed everything, which I guess fun. Let's just quickly home that. And yeah, perfect. Then let's move it to Y10, almost to the front, not quite. And let's move that to 0. Okay, so we have now here quite some friction. Yeah, the problem is like the bed basically also moves down, so you need to be really careful here. So basically, as soon as there's like pressure from the nozzle, the bed, like you see the bed moves down a bit, which of course is not what we want. So I guess as soon as there's any friction, like I feel now a little tiny bit of friction. Yeah, it's like as soon as I touch the knob, like it changes. Like now there's friction, and now there's not. So I need to let loose of the knob to, yeah, now there's like a tiny bit of friction. Okay, just to not scratch the bed, let's move to 5, and then we move to Y110 and X10. Oh, Y110, there was a 1 missing. Let's do the same here. We move that to 0. Yeah, there's a lot of friction right now. Tightening the bed a bit. Now that feels like around the same what we had in front. Yeah, that's good. And then let's go X110 as well. Let's do 5 on that, and then X110, and then let's do Z0. Okay, also lots of friction here. I guess this is fine. Let's do one more round, so 5, and then we do X60 and Y10. We position our piece of paper, and that's 0. Yeah, now there's like almost no friction. Let's move it up a tiny bit. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we do X10, Z5, Y110. And then we do Z0. Okay, we can have a tiny bit more. And then we do Z5 and X110. And then we do paper and Z0. Let's see. Yes, also a tiny bit more. And let's be optimistic that it doesn't scratch the bed. And say Y60 and Y10. And then technically we should be able to like, yes. I think now we are like pretty level. Let's just hope that the screws don't self-adjust over time. But I read actually that like a Kirigami bed like holds the level really well, and it's also very small. So hopefully that's not a big issue. Okay, so let's just assume we did that. Like now our values in the config are like 120, but we just adjusted like physically the bed down. So that's how I do it now. That is software, yeah, whatever. We don't need probe accuracy. Pitune heat bed. So I'm wondering whether I should do that once the panels are on. For now, I mean, let's do it. It will take a second, but we can, while we do that, we can install the spool holder. The bed takes quite a bit of time to heat up. Like, it's a very thick aluminum plate to make sense, but it is 100 watts. So hey, yeah, let's do 60 because the test spool I have here for easy printing is PLA. So let's do 60 on the bed and 200, I don't know, 210 on the nozzle. I'm not quite sure what the recommendation is for this PLA. I don't have a profile for it at the moment. I switched from Cura to Prusa Slicer, and all my profiles are just gone. I could look it up in Cura, but I'll just assume. So what we have is is it 2L? It's 1L. Filamentum PLA. It's a shop. We don't need a shop. Let's see. Here, that's the manufacturer side. Do they have any? Here we go. So 190 to 210. So let's just do 200. And just go with that. Let's just go with that. And the one we have here is electric gray. So it's this one. That's what we will use. I have quite a bunch of Filamentum PLA. Like, that was the brand I used so far. I'm not really printing that much PLA, but I also got like 2 spools of like 1 kilogram PLA. And I'm not really printing that much PLA. So yeah, I'm still working off the 2 spools of like 1 kilogram. It's super shitty PLA. That sucks, but yeah, I'm using it. Let's see. I'm also like checking like here in the background the stream setting, or like the YouTube, what YouTube says about the state of the stream. And I see that they recommend me to reduce my bitrate. So I'm not quite sure if I can do that on the fly. But I don't think so. I know I changed it somewhere. Because I increased it, but I double checked that I stayed below the YouTube recommendations, and I was fine in my test stream. I don't find where to change that right now on the fly. Potentially I have to stop streaming to change that. So let's not do that right now. And it's resolution advanced. No. That's the thing, like, output. Let's see if I can change that. Let's go for 4000. Apply. Let's see if that did something. It's still 10,000, so I think I have to stop the stream and restart the stream for that to apply. It still says that the stream is excellent, so I just assume it's fine for now. The next time it will be like half the bitrate. Okay, cool. Sorry for that sidetrack. Then let's do the following. Let's quickly check on what our pit tune is doing. I'm not sure if there's any output here. It just does stuff. The temperature is set to 55 at the moment. It does go up, so it does something. You see here, like the curve. So let's just let the pit tune in the background. Let's do something fun in the meantime. Carefully rotating that. So we need some spool holder, right? So I have the spool holder here, which is the printed part. It's meant to have a panel here. So the acrylic panel is kind of like meant to, like, it's basically going like on like this, and the panel goes behind. We don't have panels yet, so I'm not sure if this will be like hyper stable. But yeah, for a temporary fix, it should be fine. I'm also not quite sure which screws to use because I didn't bother to check the manual. These are like 16, I think, but looks okay from the optics. It looks okay. So let's just put this on. Hey there. Could you do me a favor? There is a little stream or like chat window in the bottom of the stream. Can you quickly count how long it takes from when you send something in chat until it shows up there? Because last time I had massive problems with the chat. So it would be really cool if you could help me out there and do a quick self-test, how long this takes for the chat to show up. Because basically when it shows up on stream, that's basically when I see it. And last time was like over 30 seconds, which was very, very annoying. Let's see. This nut doesn't want to be aligned. Here we go. Okay, I now see your message. I mean, you see it also in the chat box. Just as a heads up, so we're doing the bed pit tune at the moment. I leveled the bed. Now we installed the spool holder. So I'm kind of optimistic that we're like very close to printing something, which would be really cool. Like I'm dying to print. I think it still is doing its pit. I'm using PLA, so it will be 31 seconds. That sucks. Man, I thought I fixed it. Let me double check the stream settings. Oh, shit. It went back to normal latency. Oh, that sucks. Seemingly I have to set that for every stream. So basically there are like 3 latency settings. One is normal, which has like around 30 seconds for the red, which, yeah, what you counted. Then there's low latency, which has around 10, and I think that's what most people use. I actually did the test that you did on one of narrow streams yesterday, and it was like around 8-9 seconds, and it's also what I had in my test stream I did yesterday. And then there's ultra low latency, which is like 3 seconds, but it's discouraged to use because basically, there's very little buffer issue, like very, very little buffer. Let me try the following. So if I'm dying now, I'm gone, basically, or the stream is dying, I'm not dying, then it didn't work. But let me quickly stop the stream, see if I can just change the setting and like start the stream again. So let me quickly try that. No, I can't change it on the fly. That really sucks. So I would need to like stop the stream and create a new stream. Oh, that sucks. I totally forgot to double check the setting in the beginning. It really sucks. Okay. I mean, I'm still learning with this entire stream thing. Lessons learned again. So I have to do that for every stream, which is weird. Like I did it yesterday. I also tried out the ultra low latency. Yeah, I'm doing my best to just keep the eye on chat. So if you send me a message, I'm trying to react as quickly as possible. So we keep it at least at the 30 seconds that's there. Okay. It's still doing its pit tune seemingly. Like the command didn't return, I think. Yeah, it's still targeting 55 degrees. So that's still ongoing. Then let's just hook up the filament in the meantime. So I have this, I'm running a little bit out of space. Let me count again. Yeah, maybe it's better. 14 seconds. Hey, it's getting better. One thing that did change, before you joined most likely, I changed the bitrate settings from 10,000 to 4,000 because YouTube complained. And then when I just now stopped streaming, it changed it. Like I see now, like the upload's only like 4,000. So that maybe helps a lot as well. Let's see. Yeah. Sorry again. Like I'm trying every time I do a new stream to do like something better than the last time. And it's like, we'll take another couple streams, but hopefully eventually we get to like good quality. So let's quickly cut that. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm using Filamentum PLA. I'm trying to get rid of all the like almost done spools I have. Like I have tons of like PLA and PETG spools that are like almost done, but not quite. Let me see. I wonder whether I should add like a Voron tube, but I think like for our quick test sprint, it should be fine. Hey there, step by step, exactly. I mean, I'm kind of like the actual very first stream I did, I never published. I like recorded it instead of like streaming it. That was like fixing up my Ender. It was like super horrible. Like the audio was terrible. I was too lazy to set up the video light. The lighting was terrible. I was like everything sucked. So it's like it's getting better every time. Also like the chat window, you see, like I just added that like the last stream actually, and last stream didn't work at all. Like chat window now works. So hey, which kit are you building at the moment? Or like did you self-source for the 0.2? Let's quickly check on Clipper whether the pit tune is done. It's still like targeting 55, so it's still doing its thing. Maybe I think I have the Voron tube just here. Let me quickly. So we have this white Voron tube left. We use the blue Capricorn to connect the. Hey there. We use the blue Capricorn Voron tube to connect the heater or like the hot end with the extruder. My words. Not yet. We're doing the bad pit tuning at the moment, and then we have to do hot end pit tuning. I'm trying following the Voron guide. And yeah, so I mean, we have plastic here. I didn't push it yet in the extruder, but there's a step. It's close. Renovate, just like for you to catch up, because I know you were at the last stream. I did a little bit of work like during the streams, like not a lot, just tiny bit. What I did is, I mean, like we were waiting anyways for the pit tune, so I can like talk a bit. I added one more chain link here because like I added like basically was one less, and in the topmost, check 1, 2 as well. This chat delay is still not fully fixed. So seemingly it's, Kepler tested it for 14 seconds, so it's getting better, but I missed to set the correct setting when I start the stream. So it's still the normal latency and it should be low latency. So sorry for that, next time. So I added one more chain link because in the topmost position of the bed, it was like really tight here. The turn was really tight. So I added one more chain link here. Below the bed, here, I added washers between the thumb nuts and the bed because it was like impossible to turn those thumb nuts last time. And the washers now make it much easier. I think it's still fine. Like I don't see it like adjusting itself, but yeah. And then I had two big problems actually, which I think is like worth highlighting. One problem was that I completely destroyed my Clipper setup because I was playing around with Moonraker, and there is in the machine settings, there's like the system update check, which I was like, oh wait, sorry. In the machine, there's a system update check down here. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. There's updates available. Let's do updates. Updates are great. So it turns out there's a bug in LSUSB Debian package, the latest one, that basically breaks the /def/by serial by ID that Clipper uses to communicate with the Picobellical and the SKR Pico. So basically, after the updates, the printer didn't start up anymore because Clipper couldn't communicate with the boards anymore, which really sucked. It took me like solid hour and a half to fix that. And I downgraded that LSUSB Debian package, and it was fine. So that's one issue. And the second issue I faced, and also like quickly check what the pit tune is doing. It's still pit tuning. I'm not sure how long the pit tune takes. I hope not all too long. So the second issue was, last time we checked that the hot end can heat up. That was part of the Voron startup guide. And monitor your prints. Always important to monitor prints. We tested the hot and heated, and it was heating, so it was all fine. And like yesterday, I was like playing around like randomly, and I was also trying to like, hey, let's just heat it to printing temperature. We never did that, and I wanted to heat it 200 degrees, and it didn't heat up anymore, like nothing. And then like Clipper like shut down, of course. And then I was like doing some troubleshooting because I was a bit freaked out. I'm not gonna lie. And what I did is like I used the multimeter and measured the voltage between the two screws of the screw terminal. And that was 0 while it was heating, so no power basically here. I then checked the cable, and I was like looking from top basically on the cable, and you see like the little like the metal parts of the plug, and this one, the one in the corner, was way more pushed out than the others. And then I basically just like pulled on it, and I just had the cable in my hand loose. So basically this one disconnected, which seemingly is ground or 24 volts for the hot end heater. So yeah, I was able to fix that. Like I just pushed out the little like hooks a little bit more and just jammed it back in. That was fine again, but yeah, this was not properly assembled, most likely. That was like what happened between the streams. Okay, I also missed the formboard kit. Oh yeah, there was Kepler who's leaving or left us for a second. Let's see. I still doing that. Let's see. But it's getting like lower. It feels like the peaks are getting lower. So hopefully there's a little bit of like progress there. Okay, let's quickly just install the Voron. I guess this just pushes in. And it's so hard to push on Voron, it's so slippery. Okay. And I guess we can just kind of wing it. Maybe let's just use a cable tie. I should have some somewhere. Here. Let's just use a cable tie and just quote unquote mount that. Proper mounting. What we could also do in the meantime, I mean, I kind of like semi-professionally mounted this spool holder here for now. Let's quickly pull this off again. Basically here on top, there's a spot for some of this PTFE tube, so the spool is like running smooth. Let's do that. Let's quickly check on the pit tune. It's still pit tuning. That's something I should have done that before the stream, like because pit tune for the bed always takes forever. I'm also not sure how representative the pit tune is. Like most likely I have to do it again anyways, because once the panels are on and heat chamber most likely behaves a bit different. Okay, so let's do that. So let's just push this in here, exactly. And then basically the spool rides on the PTFE, which should like reduce the resistance. Yeah, let's just pull it out a bit. I hope I'm not cutting it too short. I'm just aligning it basically so that it's like not in the, like there's a basically notch where it goes in on the other side. So I'm just putting it out enough. It's like just there. And let's just cut it. Let's see if that is too long, too short. Oh, that looks perfect. Just push it all the way. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, if you align it like this, that's like not yet in a hole, and then you cut it flush with the top, like it goes in deep enough that it doesn't block the screw or anything, but it doesn't come out yet on the other side. So that's perfect. And let's put that back on. And then I think we have a very professionally assembled spool holder here. If I get it aligned. See. Yeah, that should be fine. Like it's not super stable because like the panel is missing, but whatever. And this is way too long. Like I wouldn't cut it now because it's not the final placement, but let me just keep it in there. We're here. Something happened. Okay, so I'm still like I actually was looking at buying like a microphone boom arm to mount that camera here. I think that would be quite nice because I can just move it freely around, and it should be enough reach for my small table. And then I can also maybe like mount like top down. Like at the moment, use like some stupid tripod that's kind of like Frankenstein tripod, I'd say. I mean, I can push it in. The question is if it's like in enough. Like if I push here, like there's now it's limit. I'm not sure if that is like now the point where it would pull in from the extruder. I guess we have to wait a bit to see that. Pit tune check. It's still pit tuning. Oh God. It's still pit tuning. I will quickly check if I was checking now in the background if YouTube is happy with the stream. Just like, yeah, now there's like the streaming quality is excellent according to YouTube. So now there's no more trouble, at least with the bitrate. There was a problem before. I mean, let me quickly check how many pit cycles. Can I scroll here? No, I can't scroll. So I don't know how many pit cycles we did. And we didn't specify that. There's a pit calibrate. Does it say how many cycles? Oh no, no, don't run it again, please. Did it run it now? Or it maybe will run it. I just want to know how many cycles it's doing. It's octoprint, it doesn't really help. Here, G-code documentation. Pit calibrate. Perform a pit calibration test. The specified heater will be several cycles, so it's very, very imprecise. That's not very helpful, is it? Oh, it's done. Save config, let's do that. Finally. I'm kind of like almost thinking of skipping the hot end, but I think the hot end should be like a fair bit quicker. So let's quickly do that. And we also do 200 only because we want to do PLA for now. Let's do that. That's heating like really quick. The Revo is heating really quick. That's always I already discovered that. And I'll also show this, but there's not much happening besides the fan turned on. Is anyone else besides? I'm still like Kepler, yeah, Kepler. Anyone else besides Kepler building a Voron or some other printer, or like has any fun printer products going on at the moment? Yeah, it's like you see like the bed takes forever to cool down, and then it heats again and cools down. It's like drops way faster. So it should be done in like 2-3 minutes, I guess, max. Maybe let's while this is doing, let's find something to print. Let's find something to print. Let's find something to print. I really could do a Banshee. Anyone having any suggestions what to print? Banshee seems kind of boring. I kind of want to build that as well. Like, I'm not quite sure where to put it yet, but I kind of want to build that. It would be perfect. Like, I have like tons of cheap PLA that I got for almost free. It's like 2 kilogram spools, but it prints really shitty, and it's like gray. So I'm just looking for something to like, waste a lot of filament on that's kind of useful. I'm looking at something like this, or just building like a Gridfinity, like there are like some Gridfinity like box, like not the Gridfinity box, but like containers basically. I'm looking at printing containers in Gridfinity boxes or something like that. Here, exactly like this, but then like with Gridfinity inside. There's a remix of this exact box for Gridfinity. I printed also those. Let's see if we can find something fun. I also printed this one. I printed a couple of plant pots. Let's see. And let's just save it for now as an option. You could also do a Voron cube. Oh, this one is nice. You could also just do a Voron cube. How's it going? Oh, it's done. Perfect. Let's do also save config, and then I guess our like decision what to print needs to be a little bit sped up. This looks cool. Not sure how long this would take. Let's quickly see if we can. I have the beta installed of Prusa Slicer 2.6. Ha! That works. Amazing. It's really, really nice. Let me quickly switch to Prusa Slicer. So we are not on my ender. We are on a Voron 0.2 with a 0.4 nozzle. Let's center that. We are not printing ABS. I guess. Let me quickly create a new filament profile just for the form Futura. Filamentum PLA. So let's print this at 200. So I checked the range before and it was like 200 and 195 to 245 or something. That's 200 and bad 50. We pit tune for 60. Let's do 55. Okay. It's a PLA profile, so assume like this all should be somewhat okay. I will need to tune all the filaments I have again after switching from Cura. Let's just slice that. How big is that? Uh, 3 hours is a bit much, so let's scale. Yes, I'm new to Prusa Slicer. Can I? This one. Let's print a mini. Slice now. 47 minutes? 47 minutes? It looks doable. Let's go a bit smaller. Maybe like a half-hour print would be really nice. 23 minutes? So you can go a bit bigger. Slice. 30 minutes, perfect. That's what I was looking for. Let's quickly check the G code if this looks like something that would print. I'm a bit concerned about like those really tiny like features on the side, so this might be a little bit weird, but it should work. Should work. Let me also add physical printer. Let's just call this Clipper for now. This is mainsail fluid, and the host name is raspberry-pi.local. I still have to rename that. Test. Success. Okay. Still, I don't understand why there's no API key or something needed. Let's upload that. Let's see. Kepler, in case you're back, like tell me about your ABS travels. I have some stories as well there. Like I printed all the parts myself. I'm very proud of that actually, and they look halfway decent. So I'd love to hear about your format kit and your experience there. Let's switch back to mainsail. We now have a file here, which looks like something we could print. Let's heat the extruder to 200 and try to push some plastic first. And in the meantime, we can also home. Maybe let me add a second cable tie to just loop that here. That doesn't like go into the build volume. That's kind of like not so nice. As always, I'm doing it in the most complicated way possible, but what is life without challenges? Wait. What am I doing here? Why? Let me do it again. Let me just do it on top. Okay, perfect. That's all it needs. So I just added like a second zip tie to kind of like make that there. Cool. It's homed. It's heated, so we have 200 degrees. I'm not sure if there's a macro to load filament. Like I'm absolutely like, there is. I'm not sure what this is doing. It's not doing much. Like the motor is running, like the extruder motor is running, but it's not pulling it. So I guess yeah, and I can still pull it out. Let's see if I can get this a little bit better. Let's just do it again. Ah, now it's pulling. No, it's not. Okay, let me quickly pull the PTFE, and let's just push the. Oh, oop. No, I broke the filament. Let's see. Let me just get this quickly out of the PTFE tube. Ugh. Let's see. So, I mean, there's no way for me to manually feed it, right? Like in this printer, I kind of have to. I'm not sure if this is working as expected. Yeah, like I feel that there's like I'm in the teeth. That's not pulling anything. Oh, okay. I should push it through the teeth. Let's try it again. I'm sending the command again. Yeah, but it's not. Oh, not sure if you can see what's happening here. It's pushing it out. But, we officially pushed plastic. So, I count that as a success. Okay. Well, close, but not quite. So that means the extruder runs in the wrong direction. Or did I unload? No, it says load. It says load filament. It doesn't say unload filament. Let's quickly try this again using the extruder control instead of the macro. Let me quickly cut that. Okay. I'm not quite sure if I'm doing it right. I'm going to push it. I'll bring you back up. So I'm kind of like pushing it in, but it's really hard to push it through. So I'm not quite sure if there's some issue with the assembly. Let me make sure that I cut it at an angle. Okay. Now I have like cut at the angle. So let's see if that helps. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, so that is, yeah, and I can push it through, like, I can push plastic manually. So that works. Okay, so let's see. Maybe I can. The table just ends there, so I'm kind of like trying to find a position where you see top and bottom of the extruder. Let's see. Okay, like this. Yes, I'm using now the extrude controls, and I will extrude 10 millimeters. Extrude. Yeah, it's feeding it out. And if I say retract, it's pulling it in. Okay, so it's running the exact opposite direction. So I'm clicking retract right now, and it's like extruding on the bottom, which I guess that should be solvable, right? That should be solvable. Hey, Ballistic Tech. I was checking out your Formboard stream. I didn't watch a lot of it so far. I just got home from work and basically started streaming. It's really interesting how different the kits are. Like the LDO kit is like so sorted, like all the different boxes and everything has its own like every box, for example, the tool head has its own set of screws and everything. And the Formboard kit is like all in like one. I think I actually prefer the way the Formboard kit is packed compared to the LDO kit. It's just like I have like 5 different packs of screws with the same screw, which really sucks. Makes it extremely hard to find stuff. Okay, let's see if we can. I mean, miss something here? I mean, I didn't go all the way to the bottom. Kind of like skipping all the fine-tuning steps right now. Here, before the first print, make sure that the extruder extrudes the correct amount of material. With the hot end temperature, yes. Let's, okay. Let's see if we find, like, I have no clue about Clipper whatsoever. This is my first Clipper experiences. Oh, by the way, Ballistic Tech, the chat delay is not fixed. YouTube reset the stream latency to normal. I had it on low, so seemingly it's around 15 seconds. So it's better than last time, but not quite. Yeah, I think like the interesting part is like, for example, for the LDO kit, right? Like the 0.2 kit I have is a 0.1 kit, and then they put their 0.2 upgrade kit on top of the box. So yeah, it's really like individual packs, I think. But your explanation could be very correct. Just they also sell those boxes individually, not only as a whole kit. Okay, let's quickly see if we can find why the extruder is rotating in the wrong direction. There should be the printer config, and then let's see if we find rotation distance. The rotation distance is 40. Check motor direction link above. Okay, cool. That's a good hint. Well, that's the AB, which is fine. Like that is working. Our problem is the extruder. I mean, technically, I could attempt to just set the rotation distance to -40. I just attempted the exact same thing on Marlin, and it completely screwed up. Yeah, exactly. You can build the LDO frame kit and all the things individually. It's actually quite interesting. Like if you want to partly have an LDO kit, I'm not quite sure. Like if you add up all the individual costs, like how far off you would be from the full kit. So maybe if you just want the LDO kit, but you don't want to have the review hot end, but like something else, like how far would you be off buying all the individual kits compared to the full kit? Let's quickly try it to just, my developer brain says this should work. So let's just say it's safe to restart. Knowing that Marlin really didn't like that. Okay, at least, so what Marlin did, Marlin just like buzzed the stepper and you had to restart the whole printer even after changing it back to a positive value. Clipper says it's not possible. Nice. That is, I like that. That is the moment right now where Clipper completely won me over. Oh, and amazing! I changed it for stepper X. I'm a genius. Nevertheless, we know this is not the way to invert the rotation distance. Let me just Clipper extruder invert direction. If the stepper motor oscillates in the incorrect direction, then it generally indicates the gear pin for the axis needs to be inverted. This can be done by exclamation mark to gear pin. Do we have a direction pin? Let's see, stepper E, X. Okay, there's stepper X, stepper Y, stepper Z, extruder. Okay, I see. So gear pin, yeah, add exclamation mark for opposite direction. So let's do save and restart. Yeah, the E motor is going the wrong direction. So basically when you extrude, it retracts. Yeah, a bit weird. I expected LDO to have like perfect configs. It's the first hiccup I have. But I actually encountered 2 issues since last stream. Sorry, I'm telling this not like the second time, but so I updated Clipper, and there's seemingly a bug. Like I didn't update Clipper. Like down here, there's the system packages, and you can update that. And there was an update available. So I installed the update because I didn't set anything up yet. So I figured it would be good to do that first before like setting up everything. And after the update, so basically one of the packages being updated was LSUSB. And there's seemingly a bug in the latest LSUSB version from Debian that completely crashes Clipper. So basically the ls slash def slash serial by ID no longer works, which basically means Clipper cannot find the SKR Pico or the Pico-Bilical PCB. So yeah, that was quite a pain because I had to roll back that update. It worked, but yeah, preferably I wouldn't do that again. And the second issue was the hot end didn't heat anymore, and the issue was there was a loose cable in the umbilical cable. So one of the Molex connector pins came loose, and it was seemingly like 24 volt or ground for the hot end heater. Let's see, that's already up to temperature. Let me just try to push some filament manually again. Yeah, so we're extruding plastic. I'm still like, that counts. So let me clamp that down, and let's see what happens if we now extrude 25 millimeters. Yeah, that looks better. We are extruding 25 millimeters, or like something along the lines of 25 millimeters. Let's quickly do our E-step calibration. I guess technically we should do that without the nozzle, I guess, to have no resistance. I think that's the proper way of doing it. At least it's like what I learned now while calibrating my ender. Yeah, maybe the cable's inverted. Most likely, it's just like weird that they're not consistent with the kits. Again, like that's kind of like what I would expect, like paying more for the LDO kit that is like properly configured for their own motors. It's like it's not even like a third manufacturer or something. It's their own kit and their own motors. I kind of would expect that. But yeah, it's a good one. Like I'll let Jason know. I guess best way is in the LDO channel on the Voron Discord. Let's see. I think I can just unscrew. Oh, I have to home everything. Let me quickly home everything. And let's just do something kind of illegal. And while this is homing, oh yeah, it's hot. So you definitely cannot do it hot with the Revo. I mean, I could do it, but that seems a bit dangerous. So let's unscrew the nozzle. So we can, basically the extruder has no resistance, and then let's just slowly extrude 100 millimeters. Now we do our E-step calculation, which actually while this is cooling down a bit, let me just move the bed down to like 100. So we have a lot of space to work on. And then let's quickly pull up the, I forgot the name of the dude. Ellie's printer tuning guide. Is that what it is? Here, Alice. Close. Tuning extruder calibration. So this, by the way, the guide I followed to tune my ender for the Voron parts, and worked really well. I just need the formula, and I think it also tells you in Clipper. Exactly. So in the extruder section, the rotation distance. This is a really, really cool guide. Like, yeah, I just see your message. By the way, like I'm working on laptop, so I only see one window at a time. So if I'm like looking at the browser, I don't see the chat. I still have to fix that. But yeah, I saw the guide. Yeah. So here's the thing. Usually I would do the hot calibration also for direct drive, but with the Revo, because you can just unscrew the nozzle, right? Like let's just pull out the material, and I think like as soon as I can touch it, yeah, I can just unscrew the nozzle. So it's not like a big deal of doing it cold. It's still quite warm. It's touchable. And now basically if I do that, like I should be just pushing through plastic, like through the empty hot end. So that's why I would just do it cold now. If it would have any other hot end, I wouldn't do it because like, it is hot. Let me put it here. So I mean, I'm really excited about the Revo. It's really cool. Like swapping out nozzles is such a pain. I rarely did it on my ender. Like I put it on the 0.5 millimeter nozzle like ages ago, and I never touched it until I now started printing the Voron parts and needed like 0.4. By the way, one thing I already noticed, you have to really cut this at an angle to push it into the mini stove burner. Like if you cut it flush, might be how I assembled it, but this really helps to just push it through. Maybe. I might have promised. Yeah, the heater gets in the way. My goal was to push it out like far enough that it's like through the entire like assembly. If I get it to go into here at all. Let's see. I'm still struggling a bit with like feeding it. Not sure if it's something wrong with the assembly or the alignment. It's like really, not sure if that's supposed to be like this. Let me see if I can pull through. The LDO kit comes with the 0.4 and I was surprised by that. I'm really happy by that, but it also comes with the 0.6. So they're both in the kit. Which is really cool. Like I really wanted to buy the 0.6 because yeah, I'm usually printing with large nozzle size. I had a 0.5 on the ender. Let's see, I'm quickly like just extruding like 25 millimeters. Oh, it says cold extrude. Clipper. Let's see, clipper cold extrusion. It's most like also in the calibration guide. Cold. Here, that is the command I need. Let's fire this. Oh, space, 0? No. What am I doing wrong? It's in the, okay, fair point. It's not a G-code command, it's here. Let's find that. And let's set it to 0 and then save and restart. Yeah, I saw a notification that Thomas did a video. I didn't watch it yet. You got preference with your stream over Thomas. But yeah, I'm really interested in seeing that. I can't remember who, but somebody else made already a video about it, and it seemed quite promising. There was actually one of the not concerns is the wrong word, but like I kind of wanted to use a CHT nozzle on my new printer, and then like the Revo system not having high flow nozzle was kind of like a downer. So I'm really happy that they did that now that they launched it. So I might actually still pick up like a 0.6 high flow. I think for 0.4 it doesn't make a lot of sense, but 0.6 high flow would be really nice, I think. Okay, let me extrude. Yeah, it's putting it in. So I think like it's the best way to like push it in as far as possible and then like just extrude. Wait, let me just do 50 millimeter extrude, and we just need to pay attention that it doesn't catch in the hot end. Yeah, here we go. So this now like should be completely like through. CNC Kitchen did one? Yes, I'm not sure if I saw the CNC Kitchen one though. Then maybe I missed that one. But yeah, I'm really actively looking into getting one. I'm actually maybe I because I have the 0.4 and 0.6, maybe I even look at the 0.8 high flow. That would be really interesting as well. Because like, I mean, for most things, 0.8 might be also fine. Okay, so I think now we are ready. So I'm just looking for the command he uses to extrude, but I think it's the same for Clipper and everything. So it's M83 and then this one. So I have a marker here. It won't be on camera, but just trust me. I'm marking 120 millimeters. 120 millimeters have been marked. So we do M83 and then we do so it's M83. Oh, interesting. So when you click the button in interface, it does exactly that. But yeah, it's feed rate is 300, so let's do 60. Okay. Yeah, it's like agonizingly slow pushing that through. Let's see. See you later, Ballistic Tech. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I'm kind of like even with the 40-watt heater, I think there's a clear benefit on having the high flow nozzle. I mean, like the heater is easy enough to swap out, so maybe I do it as well. But I think like if you have like the 0.6 or 0.8, like you gain a lot of print speed anyways. So maybe I'm just like settling on 40 and the high flow, and then maybe if I don't want, or like if it's not enough, maybe even for ABS it would be nice to have a bit more headroom on the heater. Then I would upgrade to 60-watt heater. The thing is, like, this will be so much faster than my Ender anyways, that like for me it's like most likely this is like the ultimate bump already. Like I did some test slicing in Prusa Slicer. I have like an upcoming secret project scheduled. So once it's done, I want to build something, and it was basically like a print that fills out the print bed pretty much completely. And on this machine with like the profile I'm now using, which is like a kind of eyeballed profile for Prusa Slicer, plus I could bump the speed a bit. It took like an hour, and if I would have printed on my Ender with the settings I used for the Voron parts, it would have been like 4 hours. So yeah, this will be already like such a speed bump. CNC Kitchen says that makes sense. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I didn't see the CNC Kitchen video, but I mean, I can imagine that it makes sense because 40-watt heater most like is then quite on the edge. But see, I can't go further up with the camera. So maybe if I buy one, I have to get both. Okay, so we are over extruding a fair bit. It looks like 15 millimeters. So let me quickly run that magic calculation. So we did 120 minus 15 is 105. And then here, this is the new rotation. So, okay, we need the current rotation distance. Let's quickly look it up. Extruder. Here, rotation distance is 22.23. Okay, let me copy that. So our formula would be where is it? Previous rotation distance is 22. You're not seeing my calculator. Just trust me that I'm just typing what's on screen. Times the actual rotation distance divided by 100. This would give us at the moment 23.34. So let's plug that in here. 23.34 and just save and restart. And while this is saving and restarting, I'm marking out 120 millimeters again. Most likely we have to do it like a couple of times until it's proper. Okay. It is marked out. Let me run the same commands again. So I'm setting M83 and then it's G1 E100 F60. Now you can see like a little black marker. I mean, like, yeah, it's not hard to do, right? Like, it's just like you measure it and you plug it in, but it would be nice to have a plugin. I'm actually not sure if there's an Octoprint plugin for that either. And usually, like, there's an Octoprint plugin for anything. Oh, make sure this goes somewhere. Let me just enter back up. There's an Octoprint plugin for anything. So if there's not even an Octoprint plugin, then most likely there's no Clipper plugin. But yeah, it would be really cool to have. Let me just put some stripes there so you see it move. It will be like fun black spots in our like test print. Oh, by the way, we pre-sliced already, or like I sliced this test print here, so it will be like a Kraken Benchy. Thought it's like better than like an OG Benchy. I scaled it down so the print time is 30 minutes, so it's not super long. Maybe we can do some research on the high flow nozzle while it's printing. Let's see. I just hope this one will be now spot on already. That would be amazing. I'm not really concerned of like calibrating it now like 1000% perfectly. Like I'd rather want to have like, yeah, it's done. I rather wanted to have printing still a little bit too much. So now it's 22. Oh wait, sorry. So it's like 22 millimeters. So let me plug that back into my formula. So we have 23.34 at the moment. And then we do 22, so it's 22.87. Yes, I have thought of Orca Slicer. I actually just switched from Cura to Prusa Slicer. I was like, not like I tried it out, I was just kind of like aiming for something I know a lot of people like. And I was like, okay, Prusa Slicer this. Maybe, oh no, at some point my shortcuts to change the scenes just stopped working. So yeah, I didn't look too deep into Orca Slicer. I think it's pretty cool, especially like the ability to manage multiple build plates at the same time, like to slice like multiple build plates is amazing. I mean, maybe I switch again. Like I'm just like kind of trying out Prusa Slicer. I didn't create profiles for everything yet, so it's not like a big thing. But yeah, like Prusa Slicer is already such a step up from Cura. Like I kind of was semi-happy with Cura, but I feel like it's getting worse and worse with every update. No, it's not what I have. 22.87. Right. Yes, I'm bothered by having this aligned. Same restart. So yeah, Prusa is already a massive like step up. Like it's so much easier to like tune in your things, and it's like the way they manage, for example, Octoprint and Sense is way easier, stuff like that. I mean, like for Cura, you have this weird Octoprint plugin, but it's like really bad in the way, like it's the way you connect Octoprints. You always have to go to settings, and then to open the settings, like on Mac, usually every program has Command, comma, always open settings. And Cura had that shortcut in Cura 4, and then in Cura 5, they removed it. So now you have to go through this like stupid menu on top and like select settings, and it's like complete pain. Okay, let's do one more round. Okay, it's marked. By the way, how bad is the chat delay? Like from the moment you send something to the moment it shows up on screen in the video feed. Because last time it was like super terrible, it was like 30-40 seconds. This time I fixed one issue, but I forgot, like I changed the setting in YouTube, but YouTube reverted the setting before I started the stream. So now I think it's around 15 seconds. So I'm not sure, like next time you send something, just count how long it takes, please. Yeah, I think it's interesting that like all of those like new slicers are all derived from Prusa slicer, right? Like I mean, like there's Creality slicer. I'm gonna show you the printer again. Like the Creality slicer is derived from Cura, but it's just like a reskin basically. Like they don't add any features, I think. But yeah, the Bamboo Lab. How's it called? Is it Bamboo Slicer? I forgot the name. But yeah, this one and Orca, which is like the derivative of that, is like all from Prusa Slicer. So seemingly there's a lot of good things in Prusa Slicer. Let's see. Takes a bit more. I also looked at Super Slicer, but I read that it's like, I mean, you have way more features, I guess, than in. Yeah, it's still extruding. Let me. It's way more features, but seemingly it's quite buggy sometimes. So I'd rather have less features and like reliable. 32 seconds. Yeah, shit. Yeah, that's exactly what I feared. So YouTube has 3 settings. It's like the normal latency, it's low latency and ultra low latency. Normal is 30, and that's what the stream is running on at the moment, but I can't change it during the stream, which is sad. And then there's low latency, which is 10. And I did the same experiment on Nero's stream yesterday, and it was like 10 seconds for him, like 8. So he used also low latency. And then there's ultra low latency, which is 3. But seemingly it's not very stable. So as soon as there's like some hiccup in the stream, like it drops. Yeah, we are ever so slightly too short now. Like basically the underside of the mark is like what I look for. So we're now at like 19, but let's just call the day for now. That's okay. Yeah, exactly. Like Super Slicer is bugging. Like if I choose between features and bugs, it's like less features every day of the year. One thing that I'm kind of annoyed by is, and I know Super Slicer has a setting, so the thumbnails, there's no option to remove the background, which looks a little bit ugly in most places where you show the thumbnails and like Octoprint and everything. And Supersize just has checkbox to remove the background, which seems like an obvious feature, but they don't have it. That sucks a bit. Okay, let me get this out. Let me not pull it fully out so we don't have to feed it again. Yes. Something like this. Let's see. And here's the thing, like now that I have the nozzle out, let's just see what happens if we sliced it for 0.6. 22 minutes. I'm a bit concerned about the small details here on the side, but yeah, let's stick with the 0.4. I already uploaded the G-code. Let's stick with the 0.4 for now. Okay, let me put the nozzle back in. Like this is really nice. Like I really see myself like switching nozzles between prints. Oh, I think I have to pull out more. Some resistance there. And like the mechanic is so nice, like the way like the spring pushes down on the nozzle, it feels really, really nice. Okay, let's see. This is still in, I think. Oh no, it's on. Okay, yeah. Now it's in. Okay, let's heat the hot end. Let's heat the hot end. And prime the nozzle a bit. Let's also heat the bed in the background already, so we have that ready. It pushed out the heater. How did that happen? One parameter on top. I've never seen that. I've never seen one parameter on top. One thing that also, I'm not sure if I have the part somewhere. I mean, I have it somewhere. So basically, I was like, this one is my third attempt actually on the cowling for the mini stealth burner. And the first attempt was without the multicolor print. So basically, it's basically the black parts are 0.8 millimeters high, and without the multicolor, basically would just be like recessed in here. So they're like bridges basically going over the black area. And in like, maybe I'm wrong because I'm new to protrusion slicer, but as far as I understood, there's no way to set the angle of the bridges. So what protrusion slicer did, it was, no matter how I rotated the part, it bridged like this direction. So basically this long black strip always like had like bad bridging inside, and similarly in protrusion slicer, there's no way to like set the angle of the bridging, which really sucked. It's actually the only reason why I printed multicolor, because it looked so bad that I rather went down the multicolor route, which worked out quite fine. But yeah. Yeah, it's not the most high flow hot end, but I think like for most things I do, it's fine. Like I'm not really pushing, like trying to have like a speed demon printer. Like I'd rather have something reliable. So yeah. Oh, I see. So that's why you warned me about pushing against the heater. Um, but it should be quite easy, right? Like you can just like push it back on, I guess. Okay, let's see. Let's extrude just like 25, I guess. Nah, it's getting already messy here. Let's do that again. Okay, now it's flowing nicely. Okay, so we have some. Actually, like in the LDO kit, the spring comes removed from the heat core. So it's not attached at all in the beginning. The heat, like no, not the heater. Yeah, the heater and the spring and the heatsink come separate. And looking at the LDO box, I think the LDO kits come the cold side heatsink. I'm missing words. Comes matched to the frame color. So I have the space gray frame. So my heatsink is also space gray. So seemingly, if you have the red frames, you have a red heatsink. So they come separate in the LDO kit. Oh, I only have the Ender, so multicolor is a bit challenging. But I actually, I'm kind of like, the plan is forming in my mind to convert my Ender Pro, my 3 Pro, into a switch wire. There's like an upgrade, like conversion from Ender 3 Pro to Voron switch wire. And I'm kind of having in the back of my mind to do that and actually add two extruders to have like one printer with multicolor. Yeah, now you know. But it's really hard sometimes to push it in. Like I struggled a bit to push it in. Okay, if I'm not missing anything, like we extrude filament, we can move everything. We have heated hot end and heated bed. I think there's nothing stopping us from hitting this print button. The only thing that's missing actually, I mean, it won't be killing us, but I noticed that there's no prime nozzle. Oh, I added it. Okay, yes, let's see. I added my manual, and then I saw that there's actually macro in Clipper. I'm new to this entire Clipper thing, so still learning. Let's just hit print. It is printing. It says it's printing. Let's try to give you like a nice. At some point, I need a bigger work area. Oh, so you have the blue frame, I guess, then, right? I mean, like, I don't know why would they color match it, because it's not like you see it, right? Like, I mean, I kind of see it through the fan, but it's a bit pointless, to be honest. At least feels pointless to me. Oh. Well, not sure if I should have put on the Bowden tube again. Let me see if I can roll up that a bit. Let me see to manage it a bit better. This is temporary is not quite the right word for that. Let's remove that pointless Bowden. Let me just try to roll that up a bit. That will be like fun effect when printing. Oh, it's definitely too low. Let me. I moved it up 0.005. It's definitely too low. That will be fun cleaning off the bed. Yay! Let me see. Let me move it up a little bit more. I lost it. I'm not sure if this is doing something. I'm just like pressing the Z offset button a lot. I guess now it's definitely going up. Oh wait, no. Oh, it didn't adjust it live. Well, this looks like a failed print. That looks like a failed print. I think we have to revisit the Z offset a bit. I also have a lot of vibration in the bed. Not sure if you see that on video, but it's like really vibrating. I mean, if we want to win a prize for the worst first print, this is a strong contender. Yeah, and the heatsink color, yeah, sometimes it's just nice to know. There is a Serpent macro actually, like, or at least a prime nozzle macro. I just didn't see that yet. So seemingly it applied the Z offset after it was done with the first layer, which is kind of like. So I mean, it's completely screwed up already. But it seems to get better. Like, we have to cancel it in a second anyways. Yeah, I noticed it takes a second to come into effect. I mean, now it kind of looks okay. Like the base is completely screwed. But the layer it's laying down now, it looks better and better. So I think it's kind of okay. I still cancel in a second. Let's actually cancel it now. Okay. Let me figure out where to cancel that. I mean, there's pause. It's emergency stop. It's not an emergency. Cancel, pause and then cancel. Let's move that to 50. I mean, it's something. Like it's extruding. It's kind of something. I mean, you clearly see where like the Z offset kicked in. It's a complete gap. Let me quickly get that off. That's not too bad. It didn't scratch the build plate, so success. Yeah, perfect. Yay! I could also clean that, but that would be too advanced. Okay, so knowing that the Z offset is completely off, let me quickly move it back to X60, just in the center, 60 and 120. That's 119. Oh, wait, 0. I meant 0. I also didn't mean 0, I meant 1. Okay, they will do something. And this is 60. 60. Okay, so let's revisit that Z offset. The badge should be level to the nozzle, like also like it doesn't look bad. Like you see like where the Z offset kicked in. Up here the Z offset kicked in, right? But the rest it looks like evenly distributed. So it's not terrible. Let's see. Let me plastic on my magnet. Let me quickly do the Z offset and then we check the plastic on the magnet. That's a good catch. So the Z offset at the moment is a massive 0.5. That is also what we see. So let me just, because I kept clicking, of course, expecting something to happen. I'm not sure if that is. I'm not sure if that is doing something. I think it's ever so slightly. Yeah, it's moving up. So it's doing it. But now I'm already in negative. Oh, I'm still at 1 millimeter. Let me first maybe move that to 0. That would help. And then let's use our trusty paper. Do a little bit larger steps first. Yeah, I think around here is nice. That's a tiny bit. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Let's see a little bit more. Yeah, around here. That looks good. Okay. Let me also. So down here we have the macros. That's what I found later. And there is print start macro. I'm not sure what it's doing. But let's add it to the Prusa Slicer start code. Oh, it's doing that, print start. That should be the macro. So print start. It doesn't ask for extruder. I'm not 100% certain. Let's just restart the print and quickly check what the console is saying. Did it start to print? Yeah, it's printing. Oh, it's heating something. We should heat it in parallel, please. I'm not sure if it's doing it. Most likely it's waiting for the bed to hit the temperature and then it's heating the hot end. Oh, I will do something completely illegal, and when it's homing down that, I will lift the the bed to check for the plastic. Let's wing that. Totally forgot about the plastic. I'm just opening like OBS and seeing the chat again. I'm also creating like a lot of like trash here. Let's see. The bed takes quite a bit to heat up. By the way, Kepler, I'm not sure if you're back, but I'm still super curious about your ABS printing experience. Okay, here we go. There is a bit of plastic indeed. Yeah, it's very, very minimal. Let's put it back on. Okay, that should work. Don't do that at home, of course. I will give you like the first layer level perspective. By the way, I just see like there's a lot of like stuff in the background here. Just you don't see any of the mess. This is the slowest move I've ever seen in my life. This is definitely my start cheat code with the prime nozzle. Can be improved. Oh, it's way too high. It's way too high. Let's see, it will kick in at some point. It's still very high. I wonder why it's so high. Let's see. Now it seems okay. Ish. A bit too low. Let's go a little bit up. Wonder why it's so difficult to level that. Let's cancel it right away again. But I think it's a progress. Yeah. I mean, at the end it was a bit too high. I wonder. Still a bit too high. Most likely makes sense to like just print like some bed leveling thingy where we can dial it in, because like it's such a small print area, it's quite difficult. Just directly start it again. Yes, I will save config. That's a good one. Yeah, the print start. The things like I don't know what the print start macro here does. I mean, we could look that up, right? But we could look that up. Should be here? Not sure. Wait. Now the interesting part. I mean, it looks kind of serviceable now. Let me give you a little bit of a more top view. Yeah, that looks like it will work. Yeah, let me quickly watch like the first two layers, and then let's see. I need to figure out where I can see the macros. But it looks like it's. I'm not sure if I'm like pushed the speeds a bit too high, but it was like quite conservative compared to what I saw online Voron Zero should do. So I figured it would be a good starting point. But it was a bit quicker than what the Prusa Slicer profile had. That sounds good. That sounds good. Like we'll still need a fair bit of tuning. I'm a bit concerned because like the bed is visibly like shaking. I'm not sure. I mean, you'd see it a little bit on the logos here, right? Oh, it's not a perfect circle anymore. It's like adding some. This could be a successful print. This could be a successful print. Let's see. Okay, I guess we can like let it print. Like, let me do the following. Let me quickly add video capture device. Add existing iPhone. Okay. So okay, let me. So now we can multitask. So we have it up in the corner. Um, let's see. Most likely not in machines. Dashboard, macros. There's not an edit. I can figure it out. Clipper, add macro. Where would I do that? Yeah, allow ads. I don't have ad blocker here. Just do whatever you want. So they are in the printer config. Okay. Start. Print. Start. Print. Print start. My bad. Okay, let's see. So it literally only does G28, G90, G1, Z20. That is it. How about we use? I mean, my prime line is not worst, not the worst, except that it's like hyper slow. So let me just copy it over from Prusa Slicer. Yeah, oh, that's a very nice editor. Let's see. So, oh, I'm not allowed to add space tabs at the end. Okay, that is too bad. Prime nozzle. So one thing I need to change is like, if I move to 120, it physically hits the back of the printer, which is not quite what I want. So I do it so from Y10 to Y110, something like this. And I think like the slow move is most likely this one because it doesn't have a feed rate. Let's just say 1,500 here. And this one we need actually. But I guess we can combine that. I'm not sure what the 0 is doing. That's a bit weird. This should be what we want. So we copy this. Like this. And then we just copy the macro. And then let me quickly copy that back to Prusa Slicer. But it's doing the print start already. So that should be fine. Okay, that's back in Prusa Slicer. So next time we can just, it should do the prime line as defined here, which should be quicker. Let's see that. Here we go. Oh, it didn't watch the print at all, but it looks like it's I mean, it's not super pretty, but it's also like a very scaled down model, so I didn't expect too much. Let's see if I can bring you a little bit closer. I also have a light here on top. Not sure if it helps, maybe a bit. Let's see if we can turn it. Not sure. Yeah, it helps a bit. It's bad it's on top for this angle, but helps a bit. And my entire streaming setup is still like so hacked together. Like it's like this is my iPhone on some extension tube from another tripod with like the bottom stand of a gimbal, and then like the camera here is on the tripod where this head part is coming from, but then basically camera is just screwed on the bare gimbal. And it's like on the microphone, it's like not quite perfect for what I'm doing here, and it's like super echoey here. I know that. So it's like step by step. I'm actually looking at getting like a microphone boom arm for the iPhone setup, so I can move it around here and also have like overhead shots. That would be really cool. Like there's nothing on the ceiling where I can really mount overhead shot. And I'm also really interested, I guess my living room, like this is my dinner table technically. I'm not really interested in like having like a big like gear thing here set up to have overhead shots or something. So I think microphone boom arm would be quite fun. That would be worth a try. And they're not super expensive, so that would be an investment I'm happy to make. Let me just collect a bit all the dirt here. I have like random filament bits flying around. So, I'm also planning on maybe something we can do a little bit in parallel. Oh, but I don't have the. I kind of want to have to print on stream. So, but what I want to do and what I did is I ordered. This arrived like earlier in the stream. I think nobody was here yet, but like I have like cable, which is 30 AWG. It's like super thin, and I ordered sequence LEDs in white. This one. I ordered this one. And on the back of the stealth burner, on the mini stealth burner, there's the video with the, yeah, this one. It's super cool video. He's building like a 300% mini stealth burner. It's kind of like hilarious. But it's kind of like showing, where is it? Extruder. Does he show it? Yeah, so yeah, you see it here. Like, I don't know where it's installed. Fan. I guess it must be here somewhere. Yeah, but you see the slots here, those large slots, and it's basically like you can, the sequence LED fits here, and you just add a drop of glue top and bottom to secure it. And then on this little tiny gap here, that's where you have to pull through the cables for the LEDs. And I literally do not have any cable that is thin enough to have two strains going through here. So I basically, you pull through the cable, pull through the opening, solder the LED, pull the cable back and glue the LED. And then on the back of the tool head, I still have one free GPIO pin, which I will use to power the LED. So it won't be RGB, but it will be controllable white LED. And that should illuminate like this like dark area down here, which will make just nicer to like observe prints. There's one modification I want to do. Also want to install a camera like back here. So it will be fun. I guess we can save and close for now. We also still have to do the save config. Can I just like drop that in here during the print? In Marlin I can. Let's see. No, I can't. No. What an amazing Clipper noob mistake. What shall I say? High poker, high loss. But I guess we can observe or like investigate the print a bit. Let's get it started right away again. But it looks fine. Looks fine, minus that we cancel the print. Well, now we have a save config, and we also applied the macro. So, you know, you can't have it all in life, but let's print it again. Ideally without losing the hot end temperature. But it's too late. Exactly, it's a perfect first layer. And I saved the config so the Z offset is there. So, yay! I mean, technically, could also reslice the file to have to start print macro in it. Oh, but actually, it should do it. Oh, maybe it's doing now the prime line twice. It's okay. Let's wing it because now it's basically in the slicer G code, but also calling the G code macro. But it should move very slowly forward, so maybe we can just pull off the one prime line. No, God. But like besides, it looks really decent. Like it's not perfect, but it's like something. It would have completed without the hiccup. Okay. I completely missed the prime line. Yeah, exactly. It's moving forward very slowly. So here's the first prime line, and I will like do a second now. By the way, I already updated the LED config, so this is my off state. I kind of want to see when it's on. I also should maybe add a printing state or something. This is 2% green. And I'm not 100% like happy with the diffuser print, but it's something I can easily swap out at the end. Here we go. This is not looking like a perfect first layer though. This needs to go down. Why is it different now? Let me. Fair bit down. Let me quickly observe that again. I can't remember the value, of course. It would be too easy. I mean, it's a shitty first layer, but it's serviceable, so let's see. Let's just let it run. No perfect first layer, for sure. But it will complete. Oh, it's also completely out of focus, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Let's put it back here. Let's see if I can force it to focus on the kind of. It's okay. Like first layer is way off, but it's PLA, so it should be fine. The print speed, like I'm so impressed with like how fast it already prints compared to my Ender. All right. Have a nice day, and thanks for sticking so long, Alex. The calibration is done, ballistic. We had, let's call it semi-successful print. That's how far it got. And then I was remembering I still had to save the calibration of the Z offset. And I was pokering what I can do that during a print. And my thinking was, I can do it in Marlin during a print with M500, so it should also be doable in Clipper. So I saved the config during the print, and then Clipper restarted. So lessons have been learned. But now you're like just in time to see like the second attempt on the print. But it looks okay. Like, it's not perfect. There's a little bit of layer inaccuracies, I would say. Like it's not. I can't really like. Let me pull away for a second. So there's a little bit of like layer stacking issues. It's not too bad, but you see it here, for example, this one is a little bit off. But overall, like it's okay. I'm still having a little bit of trouble. Like this one has a very nice first layer. Generally, like it's a little bit too high, but it's okay. But it didn't save the Z offset seemingly from the last print. Although it restarted Clipper while doing so. So let's see. It's not focusing on what I wanted to focus on. Let me just put it a little bit higher and a little bit more down, and maybe we have better luck. Yeah, that looks better. I could also get a separate stand for the lights, but maybe there wouldn't be as much shadow below the print head. I'm really looking forward to installing those LEDs. It's a shame that they're not here today. They were supposed to be delivered today, so we could have done that after the print. Let's see. Oh, there's a save button. Yes, I pressed the save button before. Let me see. Can I? Here we go. You mean this save button? Yeah. Let me save that. Aha! I have to press the save button and then save config. So not only did I cancel my print accidentally, but it also was for absolutely nothing because I didn't save the offset I had before. Oh, you say it's saving that without the restarting, but if I click it here, it says after printing, click Save Config in the top to save it to the printer config and restart Clipper. I mean, I have no clue. Like, I literally, this is the third print technically because we had one failed one where the offsets, like, this one was the first one. That's how far I got. And then, oh, it's my fourth print. We have three of those. And this is like nagging on the. Let me maybe like the filament is getting caught on the belts on the back. Let me just make sure that this stays around here for now. Just add a zip tie here, so it's like kind of like secured. It really like the iPhone camera really likes that LDO logo there. That's like its favorite spot of the printer. Yeah, so I understand like the safe config is basically the equivalent of M500 on Marlin, which I'm an expert in forgetting to do. Like I always adjust something and then I forget to save it with M500 and the next time it's gone. I'm really happy. Like this is way better than I expected the first prints to go. Like it's printing something, which is pretty good. Like I'm really happy. That is really cool. Not sure if there's something we can do in parallel with the print going. I think we'll take like around 25 minutes still. Let's say. Yeah, 25-ish. Looking at this, like it's interesting, like where I wonder where this number comes from, the slicer estimate. It's pretty cool. Um, like I love to see all those like nerdy stats here. This is really cool. I guess that's Martin doesn't do that, of course. It's pretty cool. I love that. But it seems like from the flow here, there's still like some headroom from the Revo pattern. I think like the normal one I have can push 15 cubic millimeters. Um, so there's definitely some room left. I'm still a bit concerned, like the bad. I'm not sure if you can see it in the stream. If you look at the LDO logo here, maybe you see it a bit. Like the bed vibrates quite a bit. So I'm not quite sure if it didn't mount it like properly or something. But it like vibrates. I can't quite tell, like it's quite fast, of course. But there's definitely like some movement in the bed. Yeah, I definitely have to dive into macros in Clipper. It's like as far as I saw, like it supports. I forgot the name. Um, like the syntax is, you also use it for HTML sometimes. Octoprint uses it for their HTML templates. But yeah, it's like really cool. Like basically, it's just like a complete like programming language now. Like I mean, G code in Marlin is like very stupid in the end, right? Like it's just like command, 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 command. But like if you have ifs and stuff in Clipper, it's like it's amazing what you can do. Um, it's really cool. That's like something I really plan to like deep dive with more in Clipper. Switch to the other side. One second. Um, yeah, but the macros I definitely plan on deep diving into. Like I played around a little bit. Like I adjusted the macros for the LED. Um, so yeah, my off LED is now like the 2% green. And yeah, nothing too serious yet. And we also adjusted the start print macro. I think just before you joined. So that's already. I can also like switch back to the full screen here. Well, so if you would have told me that I can not wait for the pit stabilize, so I can do both parallel, that would have been saving a lot of time in the stream earlier on, because we were waiting for the bad pit to complete forever. Oh, I think there's a little bit of an extrusion issue. I'm not sure if you can see that, but right here, it seems like there's a little bit of extrusion. You need to wait until the printer moves away. There you can see it. Could also be in the model. I'm not sure if that's like a feature of the model that there's like a gap. Quickly investigate. Well, doesn't seem like. Doesn't seem like. Something makes beeping noises. Yeah, now it's gone. Show it from the front so you have a little bit more. Maybe that's not too bad. It does that hops though, which is interesting. That it's like by default configured to do Z hops. Let me quickly copy that here, and then we can watch it in PruSynthesizer while quickly checking out the printer settings. I think it's here. Yeah, 0.4 millimeter Z hop. Yeah, it's interesting that this would be configured as default. Always try to like not use Z hops if possible. I mean, I'll keep it for now. I basically just like started the default profile that comes with PruSynthesizer. I upped the speed a bit right away because I was like very, very conservative on the speeds. Oh, PruSynthesizer is doing something. Oh, there's dialogue in PruSynthesizer, but I don't see it. Ah, here. PruSynthesizer encounter an error. Invalid numeric input. Okay. Print settings. Speed. Yeah, I just upped it to like 100 and 125. This one was like on 60 parameters. Um, no, it's very very conservative still. Like I think this one can go up to 160, like top speed like 160, I think if I remember correctly. So there's still some headroom to improve. Yeah, there's a Voron default profile. Let me see. I don't think I can share it on stream right now. But if you, where was that again? Add remove printer, add remove presets. Yeah, it doesn't show up on stream. But yeah, basically there are presets for other vendors in Fusion Slicer. And then they have for Voron, they have V2, V2 Mobius, V1, V0, Switchwire Mobius. So it's a fair amount, also with like different like hot ends, like volcano hot ends and different nozzle sizes, and it looks quite extensive. So yeah, I'm really new to Prusa size as well. Like I was basically like starting over my printing experience when I like started the project here. So basically, I switched from Cura to Prusa Slicer. I completely like rewired my Ender and like basically treated the Ender as a completely new printer, like recalibrated everything with Prusa Slicer. I don't have any profiles for any of my materials. It's all exactly Cura. So it's basically like starting over, which is like really refreshing in a certain sense. we never got that far. Like last time we were here, so there's definitely like some progress. And I see a little benchy, evolving in there. It's really cool. I like that. There's also a tiny bit of springing, but then again, like the material profile is just like completely winged style. So I'm just like put in some temperatures for a filament. There's nothing tuned. And the filament I'm using is a Filamentum PLA. I'm trying to get rid of all the spools where I have like a spool with like 150 grams left. Yeah, I'm actually like for the Ender, I'm considering like there's a project. I thought on Steve built it a year ago or something. There's a switch wire, Ender to switch wire built. And this one, it looks really cool. So basically, it just takes the Ender 3 Pro, and this one is the V2 version, like the revision 2 exactly. But there's also a revision 1, which is way more compact. Exactly, it looks like this. So basically, it just takes the Ender 3. It takes the frame. The bed is the same, which for me is a little bit like because my Ender 3 bed is horrible. Like it's really bad. So I would definitely replace it most likely. And it just builds like the Switchwire kinematics with a stealth burner, of course, on it. I would do like most likely like canvas tool head. Like I would go like all in most likely. But it seems like a really cool project to like upgrade my Ender, and so it's like most like it's nonsense cost wise. Like most like it will be like 300-400 euros until you have all the parts and everything. But it seems like a really cool project. And I want to do. So I actually have a broken SKR Mini E3 V2 where the fan MOSFETs are broken. I might have mentioned it before. And my plan is basically to take the E3 V3 that I now have in the Ender, put Clipper on it, put Clipper on the V2, and use both boards together in the same printer so that I can control multiple extruders. And then basically my plan would be to have two M4, Voron M4 extruders on the side. So basically the Ender would be able to print multi-material. That would be like my goal. Um, yeah, exactly. Smaller compact one. Like I'm also going for a smaller compact one for sure. Because like if I want to print ABS, this will be my go-to printer most likely. Like I'm already planning on like putting like the Nevermore on the side. That's in the Ender at the moment. And then like the Ender would just be like for multi-material stuff. That would be my dream in a certain sense. It seems like a really cool project. And it's like I don't think it's super expensive. Like if you don't, I checked AliExpress, and if you don't buy the enclosure panels and stuff, I think you get away with like 250 euros, give or take. Same in dollars, most likely. Yeah, like there's the I think it's actually a Switchwire repository. Um, um, like there's of course also the ERCF, the enraged rabbit carrot feeder. But this is a little bit overkill for what I want, right? I just want to have dual color. I'm already like super happy. Um, where's the tool head though? Doesn't seem to be here. Two branches. Master? Oh, yeah, that looks better. Gantry. I'm still looking for. I know there's a. Oh, X carriage. I was looking at. And there is. House and rear, mount pinion, direct feed. No, wait, it's not direct feed. It's Boden. But exactly, you have here Boden dual. Is it this one? Yeah, exactly. So this is basically replacing the extruder section. Like not sure how it's called. Like it's for the afterburner tool head, but it should be compatible with stealth burner as well. Like it will look a little bit odd from the outside, but basically you can put in two Bowden mounting points here, and then basically you can pull in and out the filament. So this goes basically to the hot end. And there's the similar part. Basically, it sandwiches together. So that would be like my idea. I most likely there would be like a cool project for me, like to remodel, because this one you see it's like the afterburner, like rounded thingy. To remodel that for stealth burner, that you can use it with a stealth burner. Like this one will physically fit; it will just look not nice. So yeah, that's kind of like my plan. Like it's kind of like far off project. I first want to tune this one here, and then I have like two projects I want to do that are like not printer building related, but printer using related. And then I think like towards the end of the year there would be a really cool project to pull off. Dual bone is really cool. I actually like the first printer I ever used was the Ultimaker S3. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was a S3. S3 was the model, and it had the dual Bowden extruder. And it was really cool. Like for example, we had a water soluble filament. So you had like basically you could like print supports inside, and if there was like an opening or something, you could just drop it in water and like wash the support structure out. It could do really cool things, or just multicolor, right? I mean, stuff like this, it's just like way easier if you have a multicolor extruder or like system. Oh, there are step files for the Stealth Burner Y. That would be really, really handy. Like just drop it to me in Discord. That would be really cool. I mean, I'm not going to start that anytime soon, but um, it would be really handy. Let's see. What is the Let's see who wins. The slicer or a clipper. Can also go back to full screen actually. Yeah, there's definitely like some extrusion issue like around here. Like there's something off, but the rest of the print looks fairly decent so far. Like also like the overhangs in the benchy here, that looks kind of okay. I mean the benchy flag is completely like destroyed, but this is also like scaled to like I can't remember, but like scaled small. 45%. It's scaled to 45%. So this is quite a tiny print. Yeah, there's definitely some stringing going on now. Like very subtle, but you see it between like the two end beams, left and right. There's a little bit of stringing here. And there's some like the layers don't stack really nice. That could be coming from the bed vibrating a bit. Like maybe that's already the cause. It's like yeah, as the printer is moving, the bed is vibrating more than if I touch like the railing. So maybe I have to double check the screws there. I may have seen the Tai Chi hot end. Like the name rings a bell, but I don't have a picture in front of my mind. Interesting. Oh yes, yeah. It has the wait. Let me just show it on stream. It has basically the built-in Y splitter. Yes, I saw that, and I know that there's a stealth burner toolhead mount or hot end mount for that. I've seen that as well, but that's basically not. If I would convert the switch wire, or like the Ender 3 to switch wire, my goal would be to reuse as much as possible from my Ender, like as much as possible. That means the motors would stay for sure, but it means because I have a micro Swiss hot end, which isn't the best, but it's an all metal hot end, so that would definitely stay. Just because if I convert it, I want to keep the costs low. Like just like it's a fun project, but it's not like I have to invest a lot of money in it. So the hot end definitely stays, and I mean I still need to figure out whether my build touch is broken. Like there's something fishy going on. But if it's not broken, I would also reuse the build touch as a probe. So that's kind of like my premise. Like if I do it, maximum reuse. So the only thing that I would buy is basically the linear rails, belts, but it's like not super expensive. And linear rails, I checked the one that Voron recommends for the switch wire, and it's like 20-ish euros per piece. So you need 6 for a switch wire. You need 6 for Ender switch wire. You need 6. 2 on the sides of the bed. 2. No, you need 5. 5. You need 5. So that would be 100 euros. There's Bull Rolls has a kit with all the fasteners you need. That is like 40-ish euros, so you need that. Belts is like 10, so it's like 150. Then 1 M4 extruder kit, also from Bull Rolls, would be like 60 with a motor, I think, or like let's just say 50, too easy. So it's like 250. I have all the electronics I need. So that's nothing. And then you need a stealth burner kit, basically, which also run around 50-ish. So it's like 300 euros. I might forget something right now, but like let's say like 300, 350 euros would be my target for that conversion. Really like keep it simple. I think I invested already like quite a bit in the printer. I mean, I purchased like for 220-ish, and then for sure invest another 200 in parts at least. Most likely more, like it's 300. So it would be like 500 already. So given then the parts for the switchwire converter, it would be like 850 in total. Not counting like replacement spare parts I put in at some point. But yeah, that would be my goal, like to have 350 euros for like the dual extrusion switchwire conversion. Still need to do some calculations and research, but if it's below 400, I'll do it. If it's over 400, I think like it makes more sense to sell the ender and then buy a switchwire kit at this point. Yeah. And yeah, the M4 looks fun to build. Like I really like how the little and the big gear like are looped with the belt. It's really cool. Um, so you broke my fidgeting. Yeah, that could be me. But are you happy with the performance of it? I mean, like for me, like it wouldn't be like a high performance setup in general. Like it's still like a bad slinger. It's still ender bad, which kind of limits the precision of the first layer. So, but are you happy with the M4 extruder, or would you recommend going with something else? Because technically, you can like mount any extruder on the switch wire belt. Then I have a Titan clone extruder at the moment on the ender. Maybe I could also just get a second one of those and have them on the side. That would be even cheaper, right? That would be 100 euros less because you wouldn't need to buy the M4. And you would need to buy the Titan, but I remember it to be quite cheap. So maybe you would get it like for 30 euros with this cheap stepper, something like that. It's looking like we're getting a Banshee here. You see, like the print speed definitely reduced a lot. Like now it's like in the small parameter territory. Yeah, I'm also not very happy with the Titan, to be honest. Like I mean, it works and it's better than the Creality stock extruder, but it's like odd. It's not really like I kind of like it's performing okay, but for example, like I have problems. It could be like my ender stepper motor, but like the retraction speed needs to be quite low because otherwise it starts skipping steps in the retraction, which caused some trouble in the past. So I'm retracting at like 25 millimeter per second. So it really takes like half a second for the retraction to happen. And it really adds up over the print. Like, yeah. So here's the thing, like I won't reuse the motor at all because the stepper motor of the ender is like it's a really tall NEMA 17, and if I want to mount it next to the basically on the sides of the printer, I need the pancake steppers for the M4. So I would need to get new steppers. But then given that I have problems with the Titan extruder and that motor skipping steps and everything, I would just get rid of it. I mean, like having a stepper driver at hand would be really cool, anyways, because I have so many printer mainboards. It's amazing. Like I have a SKR Mini E3 V1 with blown out fan MOSFETs. I have a SKR Mini E3 V2 with 2 blown out fan MOSFETs. Don't ask. So they are both spares. So technically, I will use the V2 in the dual extrusion setup, but then I still have one left. Which, I mean, it's just, in the end, fancy Arduino, right? So, I also have some 2020 aluminum extrusion left. So maybe what I can do, and I saw it in your live stream, it's really cool, right? You have a camera slider for your main camera, right? Like it moves very slightly over the stream. So I thought about like building like a very easy, cheap camera slider with that spare stepper motor and the printer mainboard I have. I actually did that for GoPro in the past, but I used those like super shitty. Like it worked physically. It worked physically, just not very nice. I used those. This really not nice. I ran them at 12 volt at the end, but they have no power whatsoever. So for GoPro, it was like, it's kind of okay. But yeah, like if I have like a NEMA 17 stepper motor, and a printer mainboard, then nothing is stopping me from just like buying like a 24-volt like small power brick and building like a nice camera slider.
Ooh. This is the first print. I will...
Like if I do a dual explosion, like basically it's like, let's assume these are the side thingy of the enders, then basically like somewhere like in the upper part, and then the spool holders would be below, like sticking out, so the spool runs here and then like feeds up to the M4 extruder.
And yes, I did
notice I'm paying attention to those things. Like it's one thing, like trying to make YouTube videos, you realize how hard it is to make YouTube videos. It's crazy. Like also streaming, like oh no, I broke the flag. And now I turned to that. Like it's really hard to make good like content. It's crazy.
yeah. So we definitely have
some extrusion issues. So here's the same phenomenon. That's a difficult word. There's the issue and there's the issue. Like the overhang here is horrific. Oh, the overhang here is horrific.
But it's okay.
The overhangs on the back. Oh, okay, let me just pop it off. That should be easier to show. I mean, the first layer is, let's not talk about that. But then the under extrusion here at the bow, I guess. And then, yeah, here as well. And the overhangs are not really good, but it could just be like the filament not being tuned at all. But it's also like a quite steep overhang here, so
That should be
acceptable for now. And it's really small print, so there's definitely some stringing going on.
you see
Like at the chimney and between the door frame.
But
It's a Benchy,
with a Kraken.
so that counts double, I guess.
Really happy. That's really nice. Yeah.
I guess this is the first print. I'm also kind of running against my time cap slowly. But
yeah, it's nice. I'm really happy.
like it's the first print. Like it is printing. It needs a lot of calibration still, for sure. Like let me save config. I forget to save config all the time. Let me save config because we now saved it. And there's no print going on, so we don't cancel anything. Let's do that.
Let's maybe quickly
Do like another first layer just to see if it's like somewhat better.
we still have the
Probably we'll do 2 prime lines, so we need to peel off one. Yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, regarding I really want to respond, like the balance, distance, speed, and subtlety of the slider. Yeah, I think it was a good thing. Like it wasn't like super like
obvious,
but it was like a very, very light movement, which was very nice. It's actually something cool. I actually have a DJI gimbal, which I kind of had an idea to do something similar. Like it wouldn't slide, of course, but like just like rotate. But maybe that would like do a similar effect. And to be honest, I got it and I barely use it. I kind of had like some project ideas with the gimbal, but it kind of like fell through. So yeah, maybe that's a nice way to use it.
That's actually like
The DJI gimbal I use, the part of it I use, it's the, the handle. Cool. Let's quickly see. Like this should heat up and stuff.
Does it do that? Yes, it does.
Now it does things.
Oh yeah,
That's also something I'm kind of want to fix. Like the chain leans over on the bottom. I'm not an expert in chains. Um,
but yeah, basically this.
the last part shouldn't rotate forward. It shouldn't be able to rotate forward. Maybe I create a custom part for that. Oh yeah, this is the very, very slow move.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Which is sim racing. So I don't know him. That's a really cool idea. Like it just adds like this very like subtle like extra thing, difference to the entire like video. Here we go. There's the prime line. Yeah, it looks like it kind of like would work. Like it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, um, but it's doing something. It looks like a usable first layer. Cool. Let me actually do something. I mean, I'm not going to streamlight the entire print now again, but it's really cool. I'm happy. So I'm not quite sure like how I will continue. I think the next step would be to finish the manual. So my goal is like to put this together like as kit as intended, basically. Um, um, so basically, I would just finish the panels. I think is next. The top hat is missing, so I will just put it together as intended, and then I will do two modifications. That's not called the Nevermore being mounted here because it's already built. But I will add the tool head LEDs. I'm really excited for that. Like I'm really excited for that. And I will add the camera in the back here for like observing the print. And then I will do some like printing stream and tuning stream, most likely something like that. My goal is to have a really nice print, like not the fastest V0 on Earth, but like a nice quality, reliable printer. Hey, yeah, I think like for me, like I'm not sure if I mean, I'm more sure now than I was like 2 weeks ago that I like streaming. Like it's kind of fun for me to. I'm more eager to work on something if I stream it, I think, and if I kind of have the subtle pressure to continue working on something. So it's my goal personally that because the last 2 years I barely did any like projects. So I hope that streaming helps me a bit to get back in like a rhythm and just do more. But yeah, I'm also like trying to like add some quality to it. Like your stream looks way more professional than mine. But I'm trying to like every time like improving a little bit. Like this time the chat should be more reliable. It's not fast yet. There will be next time it should be fast. And then I'm maybe like my idea was to have a microphone boom arm for this camera here, for this one, so that I can move it up and overhead as well, and just like move it around here a bit. And then technically I can just like unclip it easily still. So if I want to show something like from down below, I can still do that. That would be my idea. So because I don't want to buy an extra camera, but then I can use my iPhone for like overhead shot, but also like these type of shots here as well. So that's my next step, and then maybe because I'm using, I mean it's a nice microphone. It's the Rode VideoMic NTG. It's a really nice microphone, but it's not ideal for this setup. So it would be like my next, but it's a bigger investment than. So I'm trying to keep it like I'm not trying to invest money, but like so like kind of like notch it up a bit. Yeah, it's like every time, every stream, like something better. So next time it will hopefully be like less chatty late. Although it's like I mean like I think it's way better today than it was last week. I think the reason is that like it didn't refresh properly, and it was most likely the same 30 seconds delay as we have today, but the stream in the video feed didn't update properly. So yeah, I mean step by step. And I still have to fix the music. I just downloaded like random music from the YouTube catalog. So it's like step by step. And I think also like my frequency of streams will definitely drop. Like at the moment, I'm super, super eager to get it done. But I'm also like, I'm aiming for like just doing like one stream a week on Sunday, like for like 4 or 5 hours. Cool. Okay. That being said, I think I call it a day for now. No, so turn it back. Um, I mean, we're printing. It's goal achieved. It's not a terrible first print, so that's nice. Extrusion issues could also be the filaments. Maybe I have to fine tune like the grip. But yeah,
Cool. Then
looking forward to the first part of your build. And I'll definitely watch actually the rest of the unboxing. I'm really interested in the formboard kit and how it compares to the LDO kit. Um, I think it's two very different approaches. All right, cool. Then see you next time, and thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a nice evening. Bye.